Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the instant match reaction from Everton 0, West Brom 1. It is the return of the Fume. Again, I'm not that angry because the minute they scored, I just knew it was going to happen. It was just so predictable again, wasn't it? It's so predictable. You know, an opposition team scores an early goal. And that's about it for the whole of the game. You know, everyone knew West Brom were going to come and try and camp in. They hadn't won an away game for a while. Obviously, we knew that they'd probably just come and try and grab a point. That's sort of the Pulish way. And we just fell for it, hook, line and sinker, to be honest. We started the game quite bright. I mean, we were obviously unchanged from the team that beat Stoke last week. Nice week off. We started the game unchanged. No problems with that whatsoever. Tim Howard back on the bench. Well, you know, back in the squad and on the bench. And no problem. And we actually started all right. You know, Lennon down the right, got round the back of McLean a couple of times. And then, for some reason, we went back into old habits. And it's something I talk about quite a lot, that defending should really be for me, the priority in these games. And I know a lot of people disagree with that, and I understand why, because they don't want to see us become a team like West Brom, which we wouldn't, because we've got far too much attacking ability. But what you seen last week against Stoke is what I want to see. And I just thought early on we were just far too open. Whereas for me, in the first 20 minutes of a game, shove the ball down their throats. Don't let them get anywhere near the goal. You know, and the goal itself, it's come from giving away an absolute needless corner. I mean, when we were going to learn, in the first half, all we were doing was giving away needless free kicks and corners. You know, from the set pieces, they were targeting Brian Oviedo. They obviously done the homework, trying to get a big man on them. And then from a corner, it's so poor, the corner itself, conceding the corner. Just a ball into the box. Coleman just doesn't deal with it. You know, they win a corner. They win the first ball at the near post. And it's in the air for so long. Now, yes, a lot of people blaming Joel. And, you know, I think he should do a lot better with it. You know, he should try and do something with it. He just completely loses it in the air. And I don't know whether Rondon gets a touch or not, but it's into the back of the net. One easy way to sort this out: men on the corner post, on the goal post. Dead simple. Something that the people have been doing in football for years. If we've got a defender on that back post, that's it. No worries. You don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about anything. He'll just head that away. It's such a soft goal to give away, whether it be from the corner, whether it be from the win in the first header, whether it be the keeper not dealing with it completely, whether it be someone not dealing with it on the back post. Lots of people jumping on the fact that it might have been a mistake by Joel. I just find that very, very sad, because the difference between Joel and Tim Howard is 36, coming to the end of his days at Everton, and has been doing these mistakes for last couple of years. Now, in isolation, mistakes are just mistakes. If they start happening all the time, then yeah, we'll start talking about it. But I ain't jumping on the back of a player for making a mistake. Listen, if he makes continual mistakes, that's fair enough, and that's the difference. And far too many people rubbing their hands together when that happened today. So, you know, maybe people say that to say about me. Maybe people say I rub my hands together when Tim Howard makes mistakes. The point is, he makes lots of mistakes, and he's not the future. And whether Joel's the future or not, I don't know. But the point is, and we've said this loads of times, give him a chance at the end of the season, and then we'll know. Then we'll know whether to go and buy one new goalie or two new goalies. There you go. Simple as that. The rest of the half, I thought we were okay. That first half, we were making plenty of chances. Lennon was absolutely murdering McLean, but there's no final ball. That's the problem. There's no final ball from Lennon. His final ball's pretty poor. I don't know whether too many people would like to admit that, but it's pretty poor. Lots of goal mouth scrambles, maybe a case for a handball and a penalty as well in there. Ross has hit one onto the post. Oviedo's crossed one onto the post. And going into the half-time, 1-0 down, I was thinking, we'll come out second half and we'll absolutely roar at these and have a good go at them. And it simply didn't happen. And that was the problem. It didn't happen. As I say, the first half, yes, we got hit by a sucker punch. And you're thinking, go at them, we'll do this. Can't fault them first half for trying. As I say, Ross has hit the post on another day that goes in. On another day, a couple of those goal mouth scrambles go in. You know, one of them bounces off someone's arse and goes in. You know, I can't really fault them for that first half. But second half, absolutely abysmal. I'm sorry, but it was abysmal. We huffed and we puffed, yes. How many times have we done that this season? And that's the problem. You know, that's it's happening. It's happened lots of times. That's the problem. In isolation, games like that, you can write off and just go, just one of those days. And we did do that. We did that in the first season under Martinez. I remember the Sunderland game at home on Boxing Day. Same thing happened, but you wrote those games off because other games were great. And you just went, no, today just wasn't another day. But how many times we said that this season? You know how many times we said, well, we had, what was it, 76% possession, 33 shots. It doesn't matter. If you don't test the goalie enough, I think the goalie's made maybe a couple of saves the whole game. I haven't really seen him make one outstanding save. You know, we've had plenty of shots from outside the box, which again, I don't mind. I don't mind. It's something different. But for me, the second half was mostly dominated by absolutely rancid substitutions. Let's deal with the first one. By Kone coming on, first of all. It's not the fact that Kone came on, right? It's the fact of where he came on. Okay, we weren't playing great, but we had a shape at least, and it's a lot easier to break teams down when you've got shape. Why didn't we bring Kone on, put him up front? Lukaku had a pretty poor game. Olsen bullied him all game. Why not bring him on like we did at their place? Put him up front. Keep cleverly on the left and take either McCarthy off or Gareth Barry off and go 4-4-2. They were no threat coming the other way. Absolutely none. So why didn't we just go 4-4-2? We took the left side of the midfielder off and the organisation, the shape of the team just went completely in one go. Now, Kone was pretty poor, but that's not, for me, that's not the point. The point is he's completely disabled the team. What he's done there is just said, right, we're not going to attack down the left. We're going to put everything down the right now. So what do West Brom do? They just all shuffle over one and go, stop the right, lads, and you've done your job. What kind of management? You know, when you're at a game like that, and you've really got to try and find ways of beating a team who are well organised and really disciplined, because that's what West Brom were. You've got to be using both sides. You've got to be making people think. You've got to make defenders think, and we didn't. We made it really easy for them. We said, right, we're going to either come down the middle, where there was about 15 players, or we're going to go down the right. So what happens next? He takes Lennon off because Lennon's been squeezed out the game because of everything's going down the right. So he brings Delafeu on, and what does he find out? That there's exactly the same problem. Delafeu's got no space on the right-hand side because no one's asked about our left because we've got no players out there. So what's the point? Why not bring Delafeu on the left or Morales on the left? Baffling, absolutely baffling. Those subs are just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I just don't get them. I don't get the subs at all. And then the third sub, okay, again, I'm not even bothered that he brings Osman on as such. But it's just, I just don't get the point in that sub being then. Why are we waiting till within the last 10 minutes to take one of their holding centre midfielders off? Why aren't we taking Barry or McCarthy off first sub? They were not going to do anything. They were not going to do anything. They were happy with what they got. They came for a point and got 3. They were happy to sit in. And yet we've made it really easy for them by keeping by making it one striker and then having no left-hand side. Morales, must be just tearing his hair out because before he got injured, he was doing all right. Bring him on, put him on the left. Mix it up. Have 2 wingers on for the last 20 minutes. tell the fullbacks to sit. You know, they weren't doing anything anyway, so tell them to sit. I just don't understand. The subs are just abysmal. You know, we knew what West Brom were going to try and do today, and we fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Just abysmal, just absolutely abysmal. Subs, I just can't get over those subs. Paul wrote, he said, we could have played till this time next week and not scored. 30-odd shots, and Foster had no real saves to make. Same old, same old. Absolutely agree, Paul. Anyone else got any Q&As? Send them over. Questions, send them over in the Q&As. I absolutely agree. You know, and people say, oh, we were just unlucky today, and West Brom just sat back. Do you know what? It takes a lot of discipline to do what West Brom did today, to get the goal and just sit in. A lot of people are like, they just sit in. Well, when have you ever seen Everton do that? When have you ever seen Everton be 1-0 up and be able to do that? Doesn't happen. And we've been caught out today from one piece of poor defending. And that's all it takes in the Premier League. And this is why I say you've got to be organised as a team. You've got to stop giving away stupid set pieces. Because that's how everyone knew that's what West Brom were going to do. They were going to do today. They were going to come and try and win from a set piece, and they did it. And we couldn't break them down, and shame on us for that. I can't say Lennon was probably the man of the match, but unfortunately his final ball is pretty poor. So unless he's taking it on himself, then it's difficult. But he does open teams up. But that's the only way we were going to get through them today, was around the sides, and we were doing it all the time. And then I just don't know. It's just, you know, I'm come back there and I listen on the radio, and people are saying, well, people are going over the top about criticising Martinez. We just had 3 good wins there. Yes, we have just had 3 good wins, but that's 3 good wins. You know, it's the sandwich fillet you know, it's just, there's too much of this. You know, Swansea, I get, like, you know, again, it's like, we've won 4 games at home all season. You know, the bottom 3 and Chelsea, you know, it's so poor. And people criticise the atmosphere. Oh, it's toxic. It wasn't toxic. It's just quiet because people are just sitting there going, what is this crap that we're watching again? You know, it's that 6 defeats at home. Listen, I remember when Everton used to go through the season, maybe 1-2, losing 2 at home. And they were in... Today should have been come out, defend, grab a goal, then grab a goal second half, wear them down. But no, we can't do that. It's all got to be bomb forward. And I just don't. The other thing is, Martinez always says about a young team. Where were the youngsters today? Where were they? Okay, Romelu, Ross, 21, 22. Everyone else is what? Mid-20s to late 20s. So, you know, okay, Fume's Murray, new in terms of the Premier League, you know, dozen games or so. But it's not like it's a dead young team. In fact, one of the things actually probably was missing today was John Stones, because that was a game where he wouldn't have had to defend pretty much. And he could have come out with it out of the back 4. We missed that a little bit as well. But it's just stupid little things. Like 2 minutes to go, we're in a corner, and Phil Jagielka didn't go up for it. And you're thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing? Leave Seamus back and leave Oviedo back if you want. Get in the box. I just don't understand that mentality. I do not understand that mentality of not wanting to throw everything at teams. I just don't understand that at all. I just thought it was rubbish. And I know a lot of people say it's a hard luck story. It's another hard luck story. Fair enough, but how many hard luck stories you want? Or we didn't have the luck. How much luck do you want? You know, football's not necessarily about luck. It's about scoring goals, and if you can't, you know, I don't know. It's just the same old, isn't it? 4 wins at home all season, middle of February. Great away from home. We're great away from home because it's counter-attack of football. It's what the team's built for. But the minute a team comes to Goodison and sets up to just not concede, we just can't deal with it. And to be honest, it was one of the problems Moyes faced when he tried to change the team. I remember sitting there watching like 0-0s against Wigan and things like that. He tried to do the same thing. We're just missing that spark. We're just missing something. But the problem is, if you're conceding goals, you're always giving the opposition a chance. It's as simple as that. Now, we've conceded more goals now at home than any team in the top 5 divisions in Europe. That is a damning statistic. A damning statistic. If you keep clean sheets, you've always got a chance of winning a game. I know it's a very Michael Owen, Jamie Redknapp kind of thing to say, but there it is. If you can keep a clean sheet and you can nick a goal, I've said this so many times, there you go. Do you know what I mean? That's... as I say, it's hard to get... It's hard to get too angry because I'm not angry at the match, because I'm just sitting there thinking, I know what's going to happen today because I've seen it so many times. It's like this one, you know, I'm past anger. There we have it. I think everyone's just angry as well because no one's asking me any questions or making any statements. So, yeah, me and Baz will be talking more about this on the final word. Baz will have his instant reaction out, I think, if he's not so angry. Keep an eye out for Baz's player ratings as well. They should be interesting. Paul says, you still on the fence with the boss? Interesting on this, right, Paul? Because he's not getting sacked, right? He's not getting sacked. So, what's the point? He's not my favourite person in the world. I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. But whether he does or not's a different thing. I mean, as I said, I'm willing to give him to the rest of the season just because I'm not sure what would be different if we brought anyone else in. I'm just sick of him making the same mistakes all the time. It's just ridiculous. It'll be very interesting next week to see what he does with the goalie. Again, I'm not 100% sure that was Joel's fault for that goal today, but people say I would say that. But I don't know. Be interesting to see what happens. But I'm just really angry. You see, there's this little bit of a grey area where I'm not happy with the manager, but I don't necessarily think there's any point in sacking him at the moment. Just because we're not going to get relegated. We could still get into European places. We could still win a cup. So you might as well just keep with what you know for the rest of the season and then just see out where the season ends up and then have a look around then. Because at the moment, I'm not seeing any good out-of-work managers. So I would probably wait and see. Plus, you know, if this takeover goes through and all the rest of it, yeah, there's far too much going on at the moment to make, you know, judgment calls like that. Anyway, keep your eye out for Baz's instant reactions. Don't forget to subscribe. We've just gone over 7,000. We want 8,000 by the end of the season, and we want 10,000 by the end of the year. I know that's a long way off, but you know, you got to make projections, haven't you? Don't forget to on Twitter as well, at Toffee TV 1. We're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Toffee TV, ESC, Instagram, all those things. Come on to Twitter. Have a big argument with me if you don't want to talk to me in the Q&As. See you later.